Next up, we have Max Richter from Insta360, who's going to be talking about the Insta360 Pro, which just became available for pre-orders on Friday, and I believe ships May 30th. It's pretty exciting news for the 360 industry. So I guess, Max, tell us a little bit about the camera and what you're doing at NAB this year.
Sure. So,
and you know what? We have a little handy cam over there.
Let's
showcase this thing.
Sure.
I had a little preview with it and was enamored with the ports, but
sure.
You talk about it and I'll show it.
So that's our all-new Insta360 Pro. It can shoot up to 8K at 30 frames per second. If you want to shoot 3D content, means stereoscopic content, you can do up to 6K. So it really is quite versatile. You can also go down to 4K, shoot up to 100 frames per second, or you can do live streaming at 4K 30 frames and 3D 4K 25 frames per second.
So talk about the ports underneath. That's something that I'm currently shooting with the Z-Cam, and the ports sometimes get locked up if I'm using the batteries. Here they're out and about.
Right, so you have quite a lot, and you can see that. I think the most interesting is definitely that you have an HDMI out, which you can see here, a mini HDMI, and this will give you a real-time stitched image coming out of this camera, and you can just connect it to your headset or to your display TV, so you have a live preview. Another cool thing is here, obviously you have Ethernet for live streaming, which enables you to have higher bandwidth. Apart from this Ethernet connection, you can also do it wirelessly with Wi-Fi, or you can even use a 4G dongle, which you attach to the USB port. The USB port now can also be used to attach an SSD hard drive if you want further storage.
And Robert, I know that you were pretty pumped about that when you saw it at VRLA.
Yeah, I mean, for everyone that, if you wouldn't mind putting the camera back with everyone who's shooting with GoPros and SD cards, they know that after a certain amount of time or file size, it creates a new file. And so if you're trying to do a time lapse of over an hour, that's multiple files that in Premiere going to have to put them back together.
Right.
What you're saying is, I put up an SSD hard drive and it's till
perfectly.
What's the limit?
So you're basically limited by the capacity of your hard drive. So let's say you have 500 gigabyte and you want to record 8K video, you probably can record like 1 to 2 hours, basically. Yeah.
Very cool.
Insta360 feels like it came out of nowhere and it has just rushed the market. You brought here the Nano.
Right.
And like you've got now the Spectrum from the Nano, the Air for 130 bucks for Android devices and micro USB, USB-C. And now the 8K, the 8K Pro.
Yeah, it's really our approach. We want to be like one supplier for the complete range of 360 cameras, starting from consumer product, like you mentioned, the Nano and Air, but also going in higher prosumer professional demands to the Insta360 Pro, which is quite versatile, and not only for professional filmmakers, but I think also for people who have higher ambitions and want to shoot better content and who don't want to be limited by 4K.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is really cool, though, is even though you're launching the Pro, I really like that you're still upgrading the software for the Nano and the Air, because I know you guys just upgraded stabilization features, right?
Exactly. So just 2 weeks ago, we updated the real-time stabilization technology, which will, by the way, also come to the Insta360 Pro, which is quite cool. And I think, you know, these kind of updates and feature that we give, we just want to maximize the user experience, and that's like a key function for me. When I watch VR content, 360 content through a headset, I don't want to have that shaky footage. It's really key to have stabilized footage, and that's just features we continuously update.
Gotcha.
Would you say you guys are a hardware company or a software company or both, or what is?
So at the moment, definitely our focus is hardware, but we also look to extend our software capabilities.
This is coming with a stitching platform, right?
Right. So it's coming.
Talk about that.
So the stitching is actually, basically you don't need any software. That's the cool thing. It all happens within the device. You get a directly stitched image. You get 6 files for post-production, of course, but you always have a stitched image that is either template-based or optical flow-based for even higher and more seamlessly stitched images. But then there's also the Insta360 Stitcher software, which is free to download on our website, where you can do all the post-production by yourself, stitched together. Then we have the Insta360 Studio, which is also already available on our website. You can use it for basic editing. And of course, if you have higher demands, you can always use third-party tools.
That's
right.
And are you recommending that people with the Pro use your software or color? Like,
I think we definitely recommend our software, our stitching software. It's obvious.
It's the best.
It's the best.
Well, it's fine too.
Because the cool thing about our software, it has this optical flow, our own optical flow stitching method, which is quite unique. We have special algorithms, so you want to use that. if you want to
Well,
do stitch.
so let's go back on software. I was commenting to you earlier that I have both the Air and the Nano.
Right.
And both the apps, when I launched them, aren't exactly the same.
Right.
Like we shot something and we wanted to make the really cool animation, little world animation that's available in the Nano, but it's not available on the Air.
Right.
What's up with the inconsistencies, and will they come together?
So basically, we really try to have the same software capabilities for Insta360 Air and Nano. Why there's two different apps is basically because Air is only for Android and Nano is only for iPhone with the iOS. So in the future, you might expect more cameras which will be available for both devices, but I cannot tell you too much about that.
Okay, but that, I'm going to just repeat that. In the future, you can expect more cameras for mobile devices.
Right.
They're in the future. It's at NAB. It's time for an announcement. You got this one.
Yes.
That's old news.
Skip ahead.
Right.
But talking about this one, I know that, Robert, you had a question about the wind.
Yeah,
Wind.
so I looked at the ports, I drooled over it. Now you've got how many microphones?
You got 4 microphones, so you can actually record spherical sound. If you have higher demands, again, we are very flexible. You can always attach an external microphone.
That's the solution, right? Because internally, it's not too windy here. There's no wind flowing through my locks. But if there's wind by that microphone, it kills the sound, right?
Yeah, we have some limitation. It's basic spherical audio, but there's always the option. You can attach like a Sennheiser or whatever brand to this device, and then you get higher
Now,
volumes.
does your self-stitching software take the audio from the external microphone and blend it together, or do I have to do it separate?
It happens all together.
Oh, that's actually really great.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay, coming up with new hacks.
Right.
Trying to see if I can do multi-lav mics. Okay.
Right.
That
Cool.
unlocks a couple things.
So you think about
the spatial audio is baked in, muxed in, in camera, real time.
Right.
I look over there. The audio. Yes.
All real
I just
time.
want to say it like 3 times.
Right.
Like when Sarah's speaking, I turn my head. That's what's happening.
That's what
that way.
happened, yeah.
That's
And
cool.
also, I think what makes this really interesting is like if you are a media or broadcaster and you on the go, you want to have an easy to use device that you just easily set up. You don't want to do any post production. You just want to live stream to your Facebook account, to your own platform, to your own VR app. You just do it with one click basically, and it makes things so much more easier.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive.
And I've got a question. So you won't be shipping until May 30th, right?
So actually, we will start shipping mid-May, which is
Oh,
even
wow.
earlier,
What
around
is
May
the-
15th.
What's the cost? What's the price?
$3,499 USD.
So far,
$30.
who has the camera that we can go see what they're doing with it?
See
Sure.
some footage. And
Sure.
Yeah.
So you could check out our YouTube account. We already partnered with National Geographic. They shoot some content for us.
In fact, why don't
Oh
we?
yeah, we have that link to share if we can get that
can we call
shared.
that video up
For the
Sure.
playlist.
Nat Geo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we actually did a screen capture of 360. It's always hard to show 360 video
Right.
when you're giving a presentation, and let alone in this kind of remote way. But we screen captured the YouTube player to kind of look around. Can we
The one
load
with
up that
National
video? You guys have it?
Geographic. We'll see if we can
Let's
do
see
it.
if it's happening.
You can also just go Insta360.com. We have a lot of sample footage on our website if
Yeah,
you're
and
interested.
Immersive Shooter, we've linked to that as well.
Immersive
Yeah,
Shooter,
yeah.
right.
So, and I think we can share that in the lower third.
Right.
Well, so Nat Geo, you guys have partnered with them, and who else have you worked with?
So there's more to come. I cannot tell too much, but you can expect a lot more big media houses to use this device. For NAB show, we partnered with Live VR, and they will actually do a live stream from LA to our booth, and you can see how the live streaming works in 4K stereo.
What's been the general response to the cameras?
It's been pretty good. We've been constantly responding to emails. It's been pretty hard times for us, and we're really happy that this camera is now finally ready and we can ship. So it's been kind of tough. We had a lot of requests from content partners to give us units, but now we finally got them, and we're really looking forward to amazing content and what content creators will do with that.
So I want you to look at the camera and say, Immersive Shooter, you'll get a demo unit when?
Yeah, let us know.
Mid-May.
We were supposed to talk about that off camera.
Right,
All right, so it looks like the sample video is ready, so let's take a look at that with a couple minutes that we have left.
Sure.
Oh, that is not the right,
there it is.
there we are.
There it is.
Okay, perfect.
Exactly. So this is YouTube quality. Of course, it's a little bit compromised, but you could also download this footage to your, like, you can download the real file, the original file, to actually see what the
Yeah, on your
quality
website.
is. This here is also not stereoscopic, so we also have the same in stereoscopic 3D.
Gotcha.
So I've noticed you've been more involved with the community of content creators. You've really rushed this industry, especially focusing on nonfiction storytellers, journalists from big and small markets. What is your approach? Are you going to them? Are they coming to you? Is it mutual? What's the best way for partnerships to happen with Insta360?
So we really try to be with the community. We have really value their input. So we have the community on Facebook. We're trying to build up our forum on our website. And we really want to be in constant exchange. We not want to be like, we make a product and it's finished. You know this from our consumer cameras. We constantly get the input from our fans, from our community, and then we add these features to the product. And that is also when we work with content partners, with filmmakers, there's always the opportunity to get direct support, direct contact with our team based in Hong Kong, Shenzhen. And yeah, we are really looking forward to see what ideas our community has.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we're about out of time. So Max, thank you so much for joining us today. It's so great to hear about the Pro. I think people have been waiting for it. So it's nice to see it here today.